is full of bacteria that causes black rot of cabbages.
It doesn't sound like something I want to have in my food.
Morning, how can I help you?
I was in the store the other day and I picked up 2 orange juices. I've got a freshly squeezed and I've got an orange juice pure squeezed. I was wondering if you could tell me the difference between the pure squeezed and the freshly squeezed.
No, that's a question.
When are the oranges squeezed?
When are they squeezed?
Yeah.
The orange juice itself doesn't have a huge lifespan on it, so I imagine it will be very soon before it's sent to store.
Do you think the fresh squeezed and pure squeezed are the same thing?
Yeah, I would say so.
What do you mean by fresh?
Well, I mean, it's not horribly decomposing, I guess. You know, it's
Do you know where the oranges were squeezed?
well, actually, it says packed in Spain here.
Packed in Spain. Hola, I'm Kate.
Okay, I'm Gregorio.
Gregorio, hello. So these guys are picking these oranges now. When will this orange be juiced?
This afternoon is in the farm for make the juice, and maybe in 2 days you have the juice.
So maybe we can try. Maybe we can try juicing now,
yes.
yeah? Pretty tough. I'm guessing that this isn't the process in the factory.
Yeah, similar.
That's amazing. And quite different to what you buy in the supermarket.
I don't know, probably because there you need to put something in the juice for wait maybe 1 month or 2 weeks.
There's a difference between pure orange juice or pure squeezed orange juice and freshly squeezed. So if you had a freshly squeezed orange juice, then yeah, that's actually got to be a very short period in between the time it's processed and the actual use by date, i.e. when it has to be consumed by. Pure orange juice, that's just saying there's nothing else added in there. What you're getting is pure orange juice, nothing else.
Hola, I'm Kate.
I'm Roger.
Okay. How come you get a proper hat?
What? Do you like
This
it?
is a proper hat, yes.
Yeah, this is for professionals.
Look at that truck.
Yeah, this is the way in which we unload the fruit. Every single day we process 60 trucks, which correspond to 2 million kilos of fruit.
Wow, jeez, it is noisy.
And here the operators remove the fruits that are not conforming, fruit that are damaged, small pieces of fruit. These fruits are used in the process of animal feed that we have.
Even the rejects. You do something with them. So what happens to the oranges at the end of the conveyor belt?
At that point we separate the juice.
This is the ugly line. Look at the state of that.
They are ugly, yeah. And that one is even worse.
So these oranges can never make it to market.
Yeah, these are not suitable for the market, but they are still good for juice. The orange juice, after the extractors or the juicing process, we have the orange with cells. We separate the cells from the juice. We have
Cells,
a juice. We concentrate the cells in one hand, and then the other the juice totally cells free. Please smell it. This is great. This is great. Here, by centrifugation, we separate the pure essence, which is that.
And so that pure essence,
Yeah,
what is that used for?
Several applications, chemical and in food industry. It is also used in parfum, in cosmetics.
So what's happening here?
Yeah, this is what we call the pasteurization hall. Once we have the juice without cells, we send it to those tanks. If we don't pasteurize well the product, the quality would be reduced very fast.
What I've got here is some orange juice that I squeezed about 10 days ago. And I thought that we could try it. Not one of my finest concoctions.
It's quite fizzy, it's quite sour. It's a disaster in our glass, Rachel.
Now, basically, what's happened as I've left the orange juice, things like yeast and moulds are very likely to be growing in something like this, and that may well be responsible for that fizziness you're picking up, because obviously fermentation by the yeast is going to cause the production of that carbon dioxide.
First thing I notice on the smell is that the aroma is nothing like as intense. It doesn't quite have the zing that the freshly squeezed orange juice has.
Yeah, and that's exactly what you'll find, that as a result of the heat process, you've actually lost some of those very delicate aromatic molecules, and you've got a change in flavour as a result of that.
Come in, please. In those big tanks, we store the juice, and we also remove the oxygen from the juice. We have 80 tanks.
80 tanks.
40,000 tons of storage capacity in total.
How long can you keep it for?
The manufacturer says that we could leave the juice there for more than 1 year, even 2 years.
So you could keep orange juice in these tanks for 2 whole years?
Yeah, we could.
That's incredible. Ultimately, you can keep that juice fresh, or as good as fresh, for 2 years.
Well, our business is to sell product, not to store it. So we empty the tanks and fill it several times every season. When you add some cells or pulp to the juice,
Yeah.
you improve quite a lot the quality.
How much pulp are you putting in, Roger?
3%, less than 3%.
So just a little amount will make a difference. It's quite a strange concept,
This is
putting it back into the juice.
Well, in fact, this is not a miracle. We are reproducing the same that was in the modern nature. There are producers that use Spanish juice, but the cells come from, for instance, Florida. Some buy the cells from Spain, some others from North America, from Brazil. They are different.
And they'll use different percentages, so maybe
They
2%,
change,
3%,
yeah.
4%.
In Asia and China, they like very pulpy juice.
Very
very,
pumpy.
very, yeah.
In China.
China. And this is
Cheers.
cheers. The bottlers are our customers. They have their formula.
And each bottler will have their own
Yeah, have their own
recipe, even secret recipe.
Secret.
Secret.
Well, the recipe is secret, but you have to put the ingredients. I don't know what my customers do with my cells or my juice. It depends on the final product.
Good afternoon, can I help you?
I was in store the other day and I picked up 2 bottles of mayonnaise. One of them is a light mayonnaise. It says 60% less fat. But I'm just wondering, well, how they make it, really. How do they make it light or low fat?
I just imagine maybe the quantities of oil, maybe the amount of egg that goes in there would be less. From a sort of technical point of view, I'm not sure how they get the same sort of result.
What's maybe used to make it kind of so thick and so gloopy like the real mayo if it doesn't have the fats?
That's a big question. Basically, they don't add the fat. They just make sure that the saturated fat and all the bad fats, the trans fats, the saturated fats, are all excluded from the formula.
So it's more like diet mayonnaise.
It is, yeah.
But light's just a nicer word, because then men totally wouldn't buy it.
That's the marketing word, isn't it? Yeah.
That is not mayonnaise in my book. So clearly you can't make low-fat mayo at home by taking all the oil out.
Come in.
Hi, Paul.
Hi, Matt. How are
Nice
you?
to meet you. Very well,
Nice to meet
thank
you.
you. I need to know about low-fat mayo.
Right,
Apparently you're the man to tell me.
I probably am the man to tell you. We're actually just about to make some. So what I would like to do is take you down to the factory.
Right.
We're going to get dressed up into a load of blue outfits and go down there and see how it's made.
Right, let's do it. Where do we go?
Follow me. Come this way. What we're going to do is we're going to go into pre-mix.
Yeah.
And show you how it's made. We're actually going to make today a reduced calorie mayonnaise. The 3 ingredients Farouk is going to measure up is guar gum, salt,
right,
standard stuff you get at home, plus xanthan gum.
Right, so guar gum and xanthan gum?
Guar and xanthan, both of them are gums that help bind mayonnaise together.
Okay.
Okay, that stop it splitting apart.
So that's the magic ingredient that's holding it all together, because when I've made mayonnaise with water and not much oil, it's just a mess. You can pour it out of the bowl. You don't want that.
Yes. I'll add the xanthan. This particular recipe is having just over 5 kilos of it.
Okay.
We're actually taking the oil,
right,
mixing in this stuff very carefully.
Thickening, huh?
Okay, and we call it a slurry. And it'll go round until it becomes a very sort of gloopy consistency.
You're making it sound really nice.
Well, it isn't. it will turn into something that's pure white. Well done, Farouk. You're a superstar. We're now in the mixing room.
Right.
And what we're actually going to do now is start the things. These things
Start
here.
the things.
Can you put this into layman's terms?
Okay. In layman's terms. What he's going to do now is he's going to suck up this stuff. So open a valve, and he's going to suck it all in.
Right.
We're going to leave the machine on for 5 minutes while the xanthan gum does its stuff. The magic moment comes when we open that tap. Product's now ready.
So this is it, this is finished product.
Finished. That is now low-fat mayonnaise. Okay.
Looks more like mayonnaise than...
It does look different to the stuff we put into it. You see how it slips off your finger?
Yeah.
That's the xanthan in there. There's the xanthan strands.
Right.
As life goes on, the product will improve. Okay, this is quite gummy at the moment.
Yeah, it is.
And it will firm up a little bit more.
Right. But it looks like mayonnaise.
Well, it is mayonnaise.
That's lucky, isn't it?
We've succeeded.
So, do you know anything about this xanthan gum? Where it comes from, how it starts life?
No, I wish I did.
Do you?
But I don't.
Right.
Hi, Kate.
Hello, Frank. Hi.
Lovely to meet
Okay, you too. I hear that you're going to tell me all about xanthan gum.
Well, we'll try.
Yeah?
We'll try to do the best we can.
Excellent. Brilliant.
Okay. Would you like to come through? We see a fine white powder. Here we go. A little bit like icing sugar.
And so, like, why is it called xanthan gum? What is xanthan?
It actually comes from the action on sugar. You start off with sugar, a sugar solution, and you add certain types of bacteria to it. And the bacteria produce a coating, and that coating is a film of xanthan gum. And the species is called Xanthomonas campestris.
Where does the bacteria, the xanthan bacteria, actually come from?
Well, it was found originally growing on cabbages.
Cabbages?
On cabbages, in your cabbage patch at home.
Really?
Yep.
You've got a box of bacteria.
Yeah, so in here is the bacteria.
That's just weird.
And the bacteria in here is what secretes something called xanthan gum.
Just what?
It just produces it, it secretes it.
A bit scary.
That's just kitchen towel, I think that's fine.
Oh, it's not the bacteria. Is this honey?
You see there, all of those cabbages in the field? All of those have been contaminated or infected by this particular bacteria.
It's like a cemetery for cabbage.
I know, well, they don't know very well, do they? They are still alive, but they're really suffering as a result of this infection.
So the xanthan bacteria is a cold-blooded cabbage assassin, right?
Yeah, you could describe it like that, yeah.
Here to see Dr. Vicente.
So this is Dr. Vicente.
Ah, hello, I'm James.
Hello,
Nice to
Joanna
meet you.
Vicente.
How do we get from the bacteria to gum?
We're going to go through all the process today.
I'm excited. Okay.
Go faster. Could be done here, could be.
On here?
It could probably take.
Or the cabbages one. It's like death row for the xanthan bacteria. Can you centrifuge me?
You would have to rotate it very, very fast.
Okay, go for it.
These are the bacterial cells, the
So
white
this
cells.
white is the bacteria. Oh wow, and this is the bacteria in the tube. So it almost looks like there's a gel emerging within the solution.
And the gum will all concentrate over time. It will reduce and be more concentrated.
Wow, so this is the xanthan gum. Wow, it has the kind of dense, spongy. So something that called a black dot bacteria doesn't sound like something I want to have in my food.
This pathogen causes a disease on plants. It doesn't harm us in any way. And what people eat is a product of this bacteria. They don't even eat the bacteria itself.
Not that much. Try again.
Spoonful of mayonnaise. I'll just take a little bit. That just tasted like I just had a kind of spoonful of fat, basically, but it's not. Bless those cabbages, eh?
Absolutely.